Hey Don, it's Matt with Choice Residential and Sold My Listing Real Estate Group. As I'm reading down through the comments here, Daniel is 100% correct. So here is the rules about no soliciting. So basically the rules of no soliciting say I can't be in the neighborhood to solicit unless you go into that municipality to like Town of Holly Springs and you have a solicitor's permit. So this is what a solicitor's permit should look like. It's required to have with you when you are in a neighborhood. So basically the solicitor's permit overrides the little sign in the neighborhood ordinance of no soliciting. So as long as somebody has that, then they can come in and they can door knock and they can solicit around the neighborhood, etc. They just have to have that with them. The one thing that it does not supersede is the fact if you have a no solicitors sticker on the door or somewhere in very plain visible sight. So that's the rule to it is it can't be hidden over behind the flower pot down low near the dirt. It's got to be very plain and very visible. So if you have a no solicitor sticker, then technically it's completely off limits, irregardless of what you have, going to that neighborhood. So if you have any questions, reach out. Now I know that I've been in Arbor Creek and I've been going around. I'm very conscientious of, walking up to somebody's house, and always kind of looking to make sure that, there's not a no soliciting sign on the door or something like that. I was a trainer for new real estate agents to come in and I'll be honest with you, 90% of the real estate agents that are out there do not know that you need a solicitor's permit to be able to actively go into a neighborhood. So it's actually, probably that they wouldn't do it, but if you don't have one, it definitely could happen as if somebody's in there and they could potentially get arrested for trespassing. So it's one of those situations is I would always talk to these agents when I trained them and when we were going through all the trainings, trying to bring them up to speed as to explain to them. But this is the thing is they cost money for the agent, and a lot of agents are cheap and don't want to get it. And most firms don't know about it. And it's just one of those little, situations with law. So it does exist. It is there, really for the protection of the residents to know who is actually in there in the neighborhood, knocking on doors and walking around. So, but I say that with this to be said is don't hate the guys that are walking around like myself. I try to leave people alone. If they don't want to hear from me, I will say, hey, just let me know what house number you're at. I'm happy not to knock on your door. I'm happy not to leave anything on your door. Most of these guys are just looking for work. In my situation, I work most of the time primarily as a listing agent. However, I've got 3 buyers that are under contract that have pre-approvals, and I've been knocking on doors and leaving flyers, and especially in this neighborhood, just trying to drum up some business because I've got 3 buyers, and my job is to find a house for these buyers. So, my argument is hey, I'm just trying to do my job. And everybody says, well, real estate agents don't do that. Well, they don't do that because most of them are lazy and they don't want to do it. They'd rather poke around and play on Facebook and, put out a Facebook ad, than they would to have a conversation. So, an agent that's worth their salt is actually doing this and going around, knowing about the neighborhood, meeting the neighbors, being proactive to try to find, properties that are off market, especially in this type of environment where we're in such a hot market that there's just no properties for the buyers. So, to go around, I always consider that, very admirable to go around and try to work for my buyer clients, trying to find somebody who might want to sell their home, even though they're not on market or listed yet with an agent. So, back to my point of this is if they don't know the rules, then at that point in time, you can tell them, hey, it is a hefty fine. I think it's something like a $10,000 or a $16,000 fine for somebody that breaks the rules. Now, the thing is, you'd have to hire a lawyer. You'd have to trace it out through. It's never going to happen. Doubtful. But it might be enough to deter them from knocking on your door, especially if you have a very clearly visible no soliciting sign on your door. So you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Happy to help, and hope this clears this up. And please, by all means, if I knock on your door, which I won't, especially if you have a no soliciting sign on there, just don't throw a can of peaches at me. All right. So anyway, take care. God bless. Talk soon. Bye bye.